Snoring, and in its more severe form, sleep apnea, is not just an annoying problem for oneself and possibly the partner, but also has various health risks. In this video, I want to give you a series of exercises that can help you get rid of the problem. Before we get into the topic, of course, always subscribe to the channel and thumbs up, you know the game. However, you may already be aware from this channel, based on my viewpoint, that there are two reasons for snoring you should definitely know before we delve into the slightly deeper health topics we want to discuss soon. And this is the topic of body structure and stress. With some clients, whom I assist with their body structure, helping them to physically straighten up again, I have observed that if they have a high neck, meaning the neck is thrown far back, then the tendency to snore is higher. During the session, as the head moves further and further back, the structures are directed accordingly, so that when lying on the back, the neck can really be completely rested. Many clients have reported to me that this leads to snoring either becoming significantly less or even disappearing. How to do something like this with practice, find it here in the Methusalem code below in the video description, or let yourself be pulled along by a structurally working fasting specialist and fix this problem. Another cause is the topic of stress. In fact, it is true that many people tend to snore more frequently when they are under stress because it affects the issue more, possibly when they are more tense and then lying in this neck back position again. And here you should definitely deal with the fact that ideally before going to bed you do some form of meditation, some form of stress reduction. Here too, in the method limit code below, we have our stress release technique, which helps to actually release emotional and physical stress from the system very well. Also here, many clients reported struggling with sleep problems for a long time. Through this exercise, they were able to sleep deeply, soundly, and restfully, and their snoring decreased. So those would be the very simple framework conditions that are really not difficult to solve. You should definitely deal with them first. If it is a mild form of the problem, why use a sledgehammer to crack a nut when it can be done easily? Let's now proceed to the more serious topic, specifically this significant snoring and sleep apnea, where in this mild form we'll be addressing 95% actually experience it. It's about the fact that when lying down, when sleeping, the structures in the back of the throat collapse to some extent. One of my clients, who is internationally active as a surgeon in the field of ENT and operates on such things, once showed me a few exercises during a series of sessions that are given to patients there after an operation, partly also before an operation, to see if it can't be solved that way. And he was extremely disappointed that these exercises are not more widely distributed, because numerous individuals could actually derive great benefits from this exercise that they might not even require surgery. Of course, there are cases where an operation is unavoidable, where one can only solve the problem this way, but if there is an easier way, why not try it? And I want to share this exercise that this doctor showed me with you now. During extreme sleeping or sleeping from zero, the structures collapse here at the back, and these structures can actually be strengthened through certain exercises, both the muscular structures and the fascial structures, and this should give you a little more stability in this moment. Let us proceed directly to exercise number 1. All right, in the initial exercise, it is about protruding your tongue as far as possible for approximately 5 seconds. You repeat the entire thing 3 times. Now you can extend your tongue so far that you attempt to touch your nose at this location or to go down here. But you can also do it like this, that you take a spoon and hold this spoon here forward, especially if you have problems here at the frenulum, that if you stick it out too far, it rattles over your teeth or something. Then you take a spoon like this and actually apply pressure against this spoon for a period of 5 seconds. I place spoon here in front. Press forward. You repeat the whole thing 3 times. Also exercise number 1. Extend your tongue as far as you possibly can. As I previously mentioned, if you don't wish to do it using the spoon, if you are able to just stretch it like that and have no difficulties with the frenulum, then stretch it as far forward as possible. Hold for 5 seconds 3 times. Exercise number 1. If you stick out your tongue, you should actually feel a little tension in the throat area. Let's proceed to exercise number 2. In this second exercise, our goal is to try and fully suck the tongue onto the palate, making sure to do it as completely as possible. Hold it for about 5 seconds, repeat 3 times, always with a short break. That means I'm trying to lift my tongue here. You should also feel this again in the throat area. Notice how the structures here are active. Exercise #2. If the exercise is too easy for you, you can increase the difficulty level a bit by pushing your tongue upwards. Open your mouth wide. Yes, then you'll notice the train more strongly, but only when you're very comfortable with the exercise and it's really very, very easy for you. As an additional extension, you can also move your head backwards while sucking in and opening your jawbone. Even then, you will notice how there is an even stronger activation here. But again, really take it slowly. If you have an overreaction here, like muscle soreness, it's not nice. Let's go with 3 times for now. If you can do it well, you can open your jaw while doing it. If you can do that well, you can move your head up, jaw open. Okay, after we just went forward, went up, now we go to the sides. That means I'm pressing my tongue against my cheek. Because here as well, there can be a bit of an issue that when I run my tongue over sharp spots on my teeth, we handle things in a slightly different manner. And I will insert my tongue immediately and then apply pressure to my tongue with my hand simultaneously, thereby creating pressure, so to speak, in this manner. Seems? Again the same, 5 seconds, repeat 3 times, then look for the other side here and push against it. Okay, also repeat that 3 times, approximately for 5 seconds. And of course both sides do. By the way, in case you press on one side, you must remember the activation that occurs on the other side. This is a good sign that you're doing it correctly. If you press here to the left, you should feel the activation on the right side and vice versa. Next step. We did it in the front, we did it on top, right, left. What is the next step? Below, exercise 4 descends. It's more challenging. Sometimes it helps to do the entire thing in front of the mirror initially. It seems like you open your mouth, relax your tongue, and let it fall back in a natural and effortless manner. Essentially so. It's like a gag reflex that occurs. That means the tongue falls back, hold the whole thing again for 5 seconds, do the whole thing 3 times. If you do it from the mirror and see in the mirror how your uvula goes up a little while you go down with your tongue, then you're on the right track. If it's tough for you at first, put your fingers in your mouth a bit, do that downwards to feel how the movement should be. So a purely passive movement, simply pushing down, of course does not activate the muscles, but you can get a little feeling for where the tongue should go in this way. So the same thing again, repeat it again. Down if you can, hold for 5 seconds, short break, repeat 3 times. If you find it tough, start with a bit of A, it simplifies. You may know it from the doctor, when the doctor has to put this ice stick, as I always call it, in you, and you have to say A. This is roughly the entire thing you want to do from the concept. That means ah, and with that you can support it a bit. But look in the mirror to make sure you really have this subconscious movement and a slight, as I said, choking feeling in that area, then you're on the right track. Exercise number 5 looks as follows. You close your mouth and bring your tongue against your front teeth. You hold your tongue against your teeth, and while your tongue stays against your teeth, you swallow. The whole thing looks like this. It's a strained swallow, so don't do it naturally. But this way you notice you're addressing and training the area down here beautifully. If you find it hard, you can drink some water beforehand to have enough saliva in your mouth. That makes it a little easier. And you can actually start like this, with your head down at first. Numerous lights are absent that can be easily noticed. If you consistently experience improvement thereafter, you are able to genuinely lift your head with its elongated neck. Then the muscles jump even stronger. You also perform that action approximately 3 times. Briefly summarized your exercise sequence. What does the tongue do? Forward, upward, to the sides, downward, tongue against the teeth and swallow, respectively. If you have a holding position, except for the last exercise, always hold it for about 5 seconds. Ideally, take a short break, relax the structures completely so that everything is loose at first, then repeat it. Reps about 3 at start, totally enough. With more practice, and if you find exercises beneficial, you can increase frequency of reps. notice the benefits and adjust accordingly. That means instead of 3 reps, you might do 5 reps and eventually maybe 10 reps. But you should actually wait quite a long time with it. Initially, I would even suggest that you perform this exercise every alternate day for the initial 2 or 3 weeks, then transition to doing it daily, and subsequently, if needed, extend the interval after a few weeks and repeat it more often. Because you are addressing structures in this context that, if you have this particular problem, are most likely a bit undertrained in you. And if you, which you know from training muscles elsewhere, give too much, too fast gas, then afterwards you have a strange muscle soreness-like feeling in this area. And that's not something beautiful. Take your time, take it slow, and as I said, if it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't work for you or is uncomfortable in any way, then let it be. And anyway, if it's a problem for you, consult your doctor. In this sense, I trust the workout has assisted you and also your partner, because if you snore less, then the domestic tranquility is effectively restored. I'm glad if you subscribe, like, and share this channel video with others, because many people have this problem, and this exercise may actually help you before resorting to drastic measures. We'll see you in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, yours Dirk, hello.
Ciao.